there, friends. As the year starts to wind down, I have been thinking a lot about how my style and honestly, just kind of my whole approach to dressing vintage has evolved. Not in a dramatic pivot, but in that natural way that things shift as you enter a new chapter. So I will be turning 50 in a few months, and I'm actually quite excited about it. There's something really freeing about this stage of life. I feel so much more grounded in who I am and what I want. I know what I like, I know what works for me, and what's worth my time and energy. This stage feels less about experimenting and more about refining. There's a calm confidence in that, and I can see it reflected in my wardrobe. So today I want to share a few vintage style lessons that I'm taking into the new year. Lessons about fashion, confidence, and finding joy in simplicity. This isn't about resolutions. It's about refinement, intention, and leaning into what feels true for this stage of life. I think my biggest takeaway from this year is pretty simple. Fit over authenticity. Now, I will always appreciate historical accuracy, but if something doesn't fit comfortably or make me feel confident, it's not coming with me into the new year, no matter how authentic it is. I've noticed myself gravitating towards pieces I wear constantly. A great cardigan, well-cut trousers, sturdy, stylish shoes, soft knits, and natural fibers. These are really the building blocks of what my wardrobe is now. It's no longer about having a closet full of special occasion outfits or running out to buy the latest collection from my favorite reproduction brand. It's about creating a wardrobe that supports the life that I actually live with pieces that I reach for again and again. And I've just realized that I just need less. I'm not interested in chasing variety for its own sake anymore. I don't wear as much makeup as I used to. I have really refined the products that I use, and my skin and my wallet are very happy about that. I found a handful of hairstyles that I love and stick with them. I'm not really spending hours experimenting every week, trying out a bunch of new hairstyles. I kind of have my core basket of hairstyles, and then I just rotate through them. It has really reduced the decision fatigue for me and the time that I actually spend doing my hair, but I have mastered the styles that I love and that I know work well for me, and I feel confident in them. This shift feels calm, intentional, and completely right for where I am right now. Working from home full-time has totally shifted things for me as well. I want clothes that are practical and comfortable, yet still polished. And honestly, living in Vienna has changed how I dress more than I really expected. I walk everywhere here, so footwear matters in a way that it really didn't before. And as you may know, I have had some knee problems in the last couple of years. I had surgery last year, and I have another torn meniscus in my other knee. But luckily, surgery is not necessary for that right now. So comfortable and supportive shoes are no longer optional for me, but I still, of course, want them to be stylish and beautiful. I wear trousers more often here as it gets really, really windy. So that's really been a big shift for me, finding trousers that fit my body, are comfortable, and yet still fit into my vintage style. That's been something that I've really been working on lately. And of course, I still adore mid to late 1930s and 1940s silhouettes, but I have been exploring other eras and styles too. Hints of 1920s and even Edwardian. And I'm really looking for practical workwear as well. There's something about the softer lines and looser silhouettes that feels right for me right now. Another major lesson this year is really realizing that dressing vintage is self-care. Even if I'm at home all day, getting dressed with intention, it just helps me feel like myself. It really sets the tone for my day. I'm also working on trying to just ignore the algorithm, not because it isn't real, because it absolutely is, but because I don't want it dictating my creativity or my joy in making content. Authenticity has always been the foundation of what I do, and I want to protect that. And connected to that, there's something important that I want to talk to you all about. So, as I have been slowing down my wardrobe purchases and really refining what I currently own, I do have this fear that creeps in. This, will it hurt my content? Will people get bored of seeing me wear the same pieces again and again? Now, I've never been a haul type of creator, but I've always shared my outfits with you. And I've also never thought of myself as an influencer in the traditional sense. I'm not here to show an outfit so you can just run out and buy the exact same pieces. What I want is to inspire you to dress in a similar way, to show you how I put outfits together, and especially give plus size women a visible example that you can wear vintage style and look incredible doing it. But now that I'm really paring down my wardrobe and being very selective of what I bring in, I do sometimes worry that you might feel like you've already seen everything that I own. But then I remember that repeating outfits is probably one of the most vintage things you can do. Women in the 1930s and 40s didn't have endless wardrobes. They styled what they had, they made things last. They didn't buy for novelty, they bought for longevity. And honestly, I don't want to encourage overconsumption, especially right now. I know the economy is rough and, buying stuff constantly for content, that has never aligned with my values. That's just not who I am. I also feel like lately my content isn't reaching the audience that I know is out there, or even the audience I already have. My analytics make that pretty clear. And that's brought up this longing for how things felt when I first started my blog years ago. Slower, more thoughtful, more rooted in storytelling instead of performance. I really want to get back to that feeling. More blog style videos, more reflection, more history, more meaning, more of what I love without needing something brand new to show every week. And I think that shift aligns perfectly with where I am personally. It feels honest and it feels sustainable. And finally, confidence grows through consistency. The more I commit to dressing the way that I love, the more at ease I feel in my style and in myself. And that's really the kind of influence I want to have on my audience. So all of this has really led me to rethink the future of my wardrobe. I've started intentionally paring down. I'm getting ready to start selling pieces that I just don't wear or that just no longer serve my style. Before we moved to Vienna, I actually sold a whole bunch of stuff on Poshmark. But since we've moved here, I think I'm gonna start selling on Vinted because we don't have Poshmark here. So I think Vinted is probably the better option for me here. But letting go, it feels good. It creates space for the pieces that truly support me. Now, I'm not committing to a no-buy year, but I've definitely slowed my purchases. I'm much more thoughtful now of what comes into my wardrobe. I want clothing that genuinely works for my life, not just pieces that look pretty on a hanger. So I hope that you will continue to enjoy my outfit posts and, maybe see ways that I am reimagining certain outfits or certain pieces. And, I'm not creating necessarily a complete capsule wardrobe, but it's kind of in that same mindset. I want the pieces that work well for me, and I want to be able to show you how I'm styling them and putting them together, and maybe even doing some mix and matching. I'm choosing natural fibers whenever I can. Cotton, wool, linen, fabrics that breathe, that hold up and age beautifully. Pieces that last years, not months. So my style intentions for the new year are pretty simple. Keep refining my wardrobe so that it supports my real life. Choose long-lasting natural materials. Prioritize clothes that feel elegant, comfortable, and practical. And continue exploring vintage style in a way that aligns with slow living, not constant consuming. And the pieces that continue to become my favorites, they weren't really the fancy ones. They were the dependable ones. A pair of trousers that I reach for constantly, a shirt dress that just fits me beautifully, and shoes that can carry me comfortably through Vienna's cobblestone streets. These are really the things that matter. Timeless style begins when you stop chasing trends and start honoring yourself. Style isn't about having more. It's about choosing what feels true to you. That's exactly what I'm taking with me into the new year. I'm choosing well, choosing intentionally, and carrying it with confidence. Now, I'd really love to hear what you are taking into the new year. Maybe it's something new about your style, or a mindset that you want to carry with you, or even just the way that you want to feel in your everyday life. If you're making small shifts towards simplicity, comfort, or confidence, I would love to know what that looks like for you. Share your thoughts in the comments. I always read them, and I genuinely enjoy hearing how you're navigating your own style and daily life. And if you ever want a little extra support in your vintage style or beauty routine, I do offer one-on-one style and beauty sessions. They're relaxed, tailored to you, and we can talk about anything from building outfits to troubleshooting hair and makeup. I'll leave the link in the description for you in case it's something that you might find helpful. Thank you so much for being a part of my vintage journey this year. Here's to a new year of intention, comfort, elegance, and joy in the everyday. I will see you next time. Bye.